Yeah, okay. So this is a different spot compared to where I was before because, well, before things blew to shit. And because they blew to shit, I decided instead that it was better to just do it from the safe house. So we are now up to Blacklist 3. As we have now reached Ronald McCrea. He drives an Aston Martin DB9 and his strength is immobilizing police vehicles. You know Ronnie. He's one of those rich freaks that thinks he's ghetto. He definitely ain't from around the way. Got his car as a graduation gift from his parents. Don't be fooled though, the guy knows how to drive. He's been to every race school you can think of. I'm sure he has. And this is his movie. I know I'm viewing this from the safe house, but the truth is, I honestly don't care in terms of viewing it from the Blacklist screen itself, because, well, if I do, then the police will fuck me up. Because that's what they did before, and that's one bit of history I do not want to repeat. Even though it probably is something I will have to repeat. So this is his car, the Aston Martin DB9. That is what we're racing against. And it says, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." I wonder what that means. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, viewed that from the safe house. We already have the bounty points we need. And well, for the first 6 races, I am going to use the Corvette. And I'm going to go with the plan I had before, which is starting off with the drag race. I will also have to re-review that voicemail I got from in the free roam. I'll get round to that. So this time we've got a Lotus Elise and 2 Pontiac GTOs. Unless one of them is a Vauxhall. But I'm pretty convinced in saying both of them are Pontiacs. Let's actually try and see if we can physically get through this without dying. Which is the main thing I need to worry about here. And already I die. I fucking die. You know what? I'm actually going to change my plan for this. I'm going to make sure I get through the minimum cop probability events with the Corvette and then do the other shit with the Viper. I am not going through the same shitty experience I went through before, where I wound up getting busted. I did also save the game once I left for the safe house. So Bunny finished 2nd, Myron 3rd, and Voltage in 4th. And these are the stats. And also the stages, and everything else. Whatever. Oh yeah, I need to view that voicemail. That's not the voicemail. There's the voicemail.
Number 4 on the blacklist. Sounds good, doesn't it? You should also know that the word on the street is Razor's running scared. Everyone knows what happened. Your business with Razor is just that. Your business. No one else's. Shouldn't have any other worries from here on.
Cheers, Rog. Yeah, I figured I just had to. Oh, and I get double drilled by the two Pontiacs. I think that was actually hilarious. But whatever, it's done. We have raced the Corvette in the drag race. The piss poor race is done. And now we can get through the others. And I think instead of killing myself with the maximum cup probability races, I'm going to get through the minimum cup probability races instead. Because then that way, I know I will be safer. And I will be able to put some bounty on the Viper. So let's head over to Riverside for the lap knockout. So we got ourselves a Porsche Cayman, a VW Golf, and another Chevy Corvette. Let's go. Yeah, maybe I should have put some performance tuning into this thing. Unless that's already there. Although I was pretty sure I did detune this thing when I was racing JV. I'll have to check to be sure. I know I don't normally do this. Yeah, I did detune it. Okay, that's good. And already Little is in the wall. And I now have a huge lead, however, that lead is going to be scythed away. If I know the AI. They will probably scythe that lead away. And it will only be a matter of time before they catch back up to me. They make their mistakes, but then they just quickly recover from those mistakes. Especially if you are doing what's essentially a super long lap like this one is. Because I gotta say, this lap, it is super long compared to most of the tracks in this game. This probably has to be one of the longest laps in the game. In terms of just the circuit layouts you can drive in this game. So Snowman is now in second, Gears is third, and Little, as a result of his wreck, he is down at the back. And that was a double whammy. And at this time, fuck you. I would say things are going okay. And with this being a super long lap, and yep, Little has now recovered from the mistakes he made, and I now need to reset. Otherwise, if I don't, my car will be stuck. I know my car is fast. The only question I really have is, can I actually get this done? Snowman is the first to go out again, so that leaves me, the Golf, and the other Corvette in this race for lap 2. And stepping on the brakes, I ran very wide there through that right-hander. But I still managed to mitigate the damage, which is what I had to do. Even then, of course, if I am essentially damaged goods. And that was a pretty hard whack there with the concrete. Although I don't have vibrate on this thing, although I have the vibration turned off, there are definitely some things from this game that I do understand how they feel. It's ironically an instinct I got from when I was playing Need for Speed Shift back in the day, where you did actually feel the hard physical contact that when a driver crashed, or when your driver crashed, I should say. Basically, whenever the player crashed, there was a certain physic where you could actually hear the driver grunting because of the impact he took when he crashed the car at high speed. That's honestly something I can understand, because it's ironically the sort of experience I had from Need for Speed Shift as a kid. Even though that game won't be coming for a bit, because I still have to get through Need for Speed Carbon, Pro Street, and Undercover. Possibly even Need for Speed Nitro if I really feel like it, before I get round to Shift. And hard on the brakes this time. It was one of those corners where I had to go hard on the brakes. And right now, we are in a pretty close fight, and Little is going to be out, so it looks like it's going to be Corvette versus Corvette. Who will win in this battle of muscle/supercars? Especially since the Corvette technically is a combination of both a muscle car and a supercar to some degree. At least with the C6, that is. Which I would argue is probably the best looking Corvette, personally. Shit. I did not need that. That's honestly one thing I was not needing. Okay, I got through there alright, and I did manage to survive. Okay, we're through. We did manage to get through the pillars. And that was a terrible mistake. In fact, I think the mistake was so bad that it quite literally cost me the lead. And possibly even the win as well, if I don't recover from this. And using the speed breaker again, I have to make sure I nail these tight corners if I am going to survive. I need to make sure these corners are nailed. Damn it. I did not mean to click that twice. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to use the bus stop and see if we can manage to gain something from this. And I think we did. I think that shortcut actually helped me. I think I can understand why players use that bus stop now. It's clearly a shortcut. Oh, come on, make it through, make it through, make it through. Okay, we're through. Okay, I think I might have just recovered. Okay, don't choke, don't choke, don't choke. Okay, we're through. Also, I was pretty sure the game put me through a scoring error. I clearly won that race. There was no way I was second. Because Little was knocked out. It was clearly myself over Gears. So yeah, that's definitely a scoring error somewhere. I clearly won that race. Because I have the cash as well as the time to prove it.
Hey, you know who this is. Seems that the races in the boroughs are getting busted before they start. I mean, the cops are all over the place. Now, the last person to go through there was you. Let's just say I'm not the only one who's noticed. You better watch your back.
Razor, I am always watching my back. Anyway, because I have learned to not go through the maximum cop probability events, first of all, although that is the way I have chosen to do this up to this point, I have now come to learn that if I do those events first, they will fuck me up. And they have done that already. So that's definitely one risk I am not prepared to take again. Especially since I know it's going to feel like I'm racing Neanderthals. But either way, let's now get through our next one. The sprint race at Bond and Forest Green. And this time we've got ourselves a Lamborghini with a Corvette and a Lexus as our opponents. Yeah, I'm just doing this because if I don't, then I will be even more mad at myself. Yeah, I just figured instead of just simply struggling to make sure I stay ahead, I just decided it was better for me to just put in a bit more of a power output in both the nitrous and the supercharger. I just decided if I was going to win this race and not see myself just getting more and more frustrated, I just decided it was better for me to just put in a little bit of performance tuning just to get there. And already it is making the difference, because I am ahead of the rest of the pack. And the bus stop shortcut, it really does work. That is one thing I have come to establish. And right now, I think we're doing okay. As we're passing 210 and making sure this time to not go straight into the toll booth as I did before. I avoid that successfully. And it looks as though I am pulling away with the advantage. I just have to make sure I don't deal with another steering lockup through the tunnel or get my car wedged in the wall. Because if I do, then it's pretty much game over. And it looks like it might just happen again. However, I will not be denied this time, as I win in the end by 6 seconds over High Roller. Blacklock was third, and Torque finished in fourth. I'm going to assume Torque must have been the one in the Lamborghini. And then I think it was probably High Roller in the Corvette. Unless it was Blacklock. I don't know. Point is, I win. And I win convincingly as well. Even though I kill myself right as I finish. But whatever. It's done. Now we just have 3 more races to go with the Corvette, and then we can switch over to the Dodge. We do have another... Yeah, we do have a circuit race, but I think I'll get on with that another day. Or probably in a bit. So... yeah, we'll get through the speed trap. Why not? And this time we've got ourselves a Mazda RX-8. Couldn't quite see what the rest of the field was there. I think one of the opponents we have is a Cadillac, but I'm not entirely sure on that. Fucking goddammit. I'm just gonna get that out the way and say no. So we got a Mazda RX-8, a Cadillac CTS, and a Mazda RX-7. I honestly knew once I entered that corner that I was probably just going to go head first into just what felt like the chopping block. I would honestly argue that wall was basically a chop block, if it was anything. As in, it just completely chopped me up and basically would have ruined the rest of my run. That was why I restarted. And now I'm at the back because the RX-7 blocked me. At least I can say he wasn't blocking me at Daytona, because if he was, then we both would have been killed. In other words, our cars would have been killed. Because it would have caused the big one, and we all would have been caught up in it. Okay, now I'm back in front. Even though I did pay the price for it. Because I took quite a shot into that one little grabbing point on the wall. But you know what? That's okay. As I lead ahead of Sky, Jason, and Wyaby. I'm still in the lead. Hopefully that is where I can stay for the rest of this. And if I don't, then well, I'll just have to keep doing this until I die. Basically. Or until I decide to surrender. Which is not going to be easy, because my balls are pretty sharp. Because I can certainly say that I have some pretty tough balls. Before I get convinced into... Would be really nice if I could stop just running into traffic all the goddamn time. Even though it seems inevitable to say that in pretty much every race from now on I'm going to encounter traffic and probably hit it. But you know what? Fuck you. Just fucking piss off, alright? Just fucking piss off. I already have enough on my plate as it is. I don't need another encounter like that, thank you. Okay, I think we've got it this time. I don't think we're gonna lose. This should be enough for me to win. And if it isn't, then I'll just keep trying until I do get there, but I'm convinced in saying we've got it. We did less than 1,000, and after what was actually a pretty close-fought race up until the end, I beat Sky to the line by 84 miles per hour. And then Jason third with 876, and YOB was fourth with 871.
It's me. Look, I know you talked to Razor. Don't let him throw you off. He's just messing with you. Stay on top of your game. You take care of the racing, and I'll take care of the rest. I have plans for him. Later.
Ironically, I know what's eventually going to happen to Razor, but since I have learned, of course, to not give spoilers, because this technically is another street racing game with a story mode, I am obviously not going to reveal any spoilers, because if I do, I might get called out on it, and as you might have guessed, I don't want to be called out for revealing spoilers. As we're now at the 75% mark, and got another 2 events left to do, so we've done a knockout, a sprint race, a speed trap race, and a drag race. I think we'll get through... yeah, we'll get through the toll booth event next at Petersburg and Project, and then afterwards we'll do the other sprint race to end this off. Yeah. Let's get through the toll booth event. And so we get through the toll booth event, and I can certainly say that since I tweaked up both the nitrous and the supercharger on this car, winning has actually been made just a little bit easier. However, because I do this for entertainment purposes, I do at least have to make sure I'm keeping it interesting. Damn it. However, we are very close to reaching the top. And once we take down Rodney, we will be in the top 3 of the blacklist. However, I don't think that's going to come today because, well, I just want to get through the racing, and then once I am done with the racing, we can then just move on to racing. God damn it. Why does there always have to be some sort of vehicle in front of me? Right when I'm about to finish a sentence, there always has to be a fucking traffic vehicle that's right in front of me. It's honestly just one habit I cannot shake off. And that's no relation to Taylor Swift, if you're asking. Even though some of you may tell me to shake it off, I can assure you that's not what this is about. That's also not how that reference works. Although I will say the players are going to play, and the shakers are going to shake. That's all you're getting from me. If I say any more than that, I might actually get caught out by the copyright bots. And as you might have guessed, I don't want that. Because copyright laws on YouTube are already enough of a problem. And there are many VTubers who get caught out by copyright bots almost constantly. And even I have had videos be partially nuked because of copyright claims. So that's just me preserving my self-awareness for that, whole shebang. if you've been on the platform long enough, you will know that's ultimately what you have to be wary of. I'm really cutting it fine with these fucking toll booths because of how much traffic there is. The traffic is just showing up like shit. And it's almost making it impossible for me to dodge nearly every bullet. Get out the fucking way. Fuck you. Get out the fucking way. Move it or lose it. I have to make these toll booths. This is going to be very tight. But it's okay. I made it. Whew. That was close. I really have got to make sure that I'm holding on to my self-awareness. But it's okay, we make it with 8 seconds to spare. Cutting it with fine margins, but we did make it. And I hit the back of a transporter truck. But whatever, it's fine. We only have one race left now. And then we will be done with the Corvette. And then afterwards, we can use the Dodge, as we have got Highway 99 and Projects, as what will be our last race with the Corvette. So we got a Corvette, a Viper, and a Lancer Evo 8. For what is set to be a pretty long sprint race. Fuck you. You probably knew I was behind you. But whatever, we're still leading, and we have not been totally fucked by it. Fuck you, Tuning Garage. Probably the only time you'll hear me say that. But it really is that sort of a problem. Come on. Get it back, get it back, get it back. Come on, get it back. Okay, we're back. I really thought for sure I lost it there, but we did get it back. And the run continues with the Corvette, over Speed Freak, Lars, and Prez. As now Lars has taken over second. I could not tell you what the running order is in terms of the cars they're driving, because, well, I've said this before and I will say it again, but this game does not reveal. And the Pursuit Breaker does manage to slow down the AI. That's actually a pretty good thing for me, because it means I am able to put together a pretty good run, regardless of the mistakes I am still constantly making. But whatever, we're still running good, and that's where we need to be. As I nail the shortcut, Speed Freak is currently P2, then we've got Lars in P3, Prez is now up to P2 as I failed the shortcuts on the railroads. But no matter, we are doing okay, and we are keeping ourselves going. And we've got a little bit more to go, and then we'll have made it. Hopefully. Can we get to the end of this? Yes, we can. As Speed Freak dropped to the back. Lars finished in second, and it was Prez who finished in third. Okay, those are your stats and your stage times, if you will. I pretty much led from wire to wire. And there we go. And now we have just one more race to do with the Corvette. And then we'll pretty much call it time with the Corvette, as we're now 76% complete with the game. Ironically, that's one of my lucky numbers. Anyway, one race to go. And it is... oh, that's it. Okay. We did our 6. I was not keeping on track with that. But anyway, there we go. We end what I think is episode 25 of this game with 76%. And next time, we will be getting through the other half of races using the Dodge Viper. Coming in the next episode of Need for Speed Most Wanted. Yeah.